What is up, my dogs? Lawson here. If you can see from the goofy looking mic on top of my GoPro, I'm trying something a little bit different today. Lately, I've not been super happy with how the audio has sounded in my videos, especially because we've had so much wind all the time. It's been super frustrating, and I'm sitting there editing my videos about to blow my brains out because all I hear is wind noise when I'm trying to edit. I've listened to the clips 5,000 times over, and I feel bad for you guys too. So we're gonna try a little bit different of a audio configuration today. Not that any of you care about that at all. I'm just explaining why there's a Furby on top of my chest right now. Anyway, today's video is sponsored by Shop Karl's. If you know what Shop Karl's is, online retailer where you can get fat deals. Oh my gosh, something just blew up to my left. Fat deals and buy all the tackle you need. It's where I get so much of my terminal tackle these days. They are awesome. You can join Karl's Club, save a bunch of money on your orders. I'll leave a link down below where you can go shop on Shop Karl's. I'm not like blowing smoke up your butt. I genuinely think it's an amazing place, and I get all my soft plastics and a ton of my terminal tackle and jig heads from Shop Karl's. So if you guys need some good stuff, go check it out. The link down below. Anyways, the game plan for today is big trout. That's all I want. I want to catch a big trout. Maybe we can catch some reds and snook and tarpies while we're at it, but big trout is the name of the game. We're gonna start throwing a big top water, see if we can make it happen. Oh, just got popped by a trout right there. There it is. Nice. I think it's a good trout. There was a dolphin about, so we're gonna try to crank him in. He's coming right at the boat. Nice trout. Nice trout. Good fish to start the morning. Beautiful trout. We're gonna throw him on the tape real quick just to get a baseline on him. I would guess he's like 19 inches, probably 20. But we're gonna throw him on the tape and get a baseline and see what these fish are looking like, so we have a good idea. Okay. Oh my God, dolphin, you suck. Scare the crap out of me. There's a fish. That was a good one. I gotta crank this guy in. There's a dolphin on the mist. It's a good fish too. Golly, I hate this. I had this exact same problem the other day, hooking good fish next to dolphin. Big trout, really big trout, really big trout. Oh my God, get in the boat, get in the boat, get in the boat. Holy crap. Ooh, that guy might. Oh my gosh. That one might break the PB of the big one I caught up north the other day. Holy crap, that thing is a tank. We'll measure him too. Not quite as big. He went 23.5 on the tape, but man, is that a tank. We're off to a very good start. Gosh, that was a good trout, man. Ooh, I started a huge eat out there. Good gravy. It's going down, my friends. It's happening. I'm so stoked on that trout, dude. Oh, we gotta catch a bigger one than that. Can you imagine if I like break a PB trout 3 days apart from one another? That would be wicked cool. Oh, there it is, I guess. Oh my gosh, I just got annihilated. I literally couldn't even see my top water. Like, I didn't know where it was. And all of a sudden, I just see a boom. Oh, something's underneath it again. This is like perfect top water throwing conditions, though. Super overcast, a light chop. I love when there's a light chop on the water when you're throwing a top water, because I feel like it really just like breaks up your top water in the perfect way where the fish can't really examine it that well, but they still see that there's a big fat, fake mullet cruising across the surface, but they can't really pick it apart as well because there's turbulence underneath it. And so they seem way more willing to throw down on a top water when there's a little bit of chop on the water. This dolphin is just being a tool, just lurking around the boat. So all I'm doing right now is I'm basically floating across a nice good flat and I'm blind casting, just chucking a top water basically as far as I can, covering a ton of water with it. And if I catch a fish, I'm gonna hit the spot lock, or if you had power poles, hit the power poles down and just hold up right where you're at, throw a few more casts into that exact same area, see if there's other trout hold up in there, and if not, keep moving. If so, stay there and fish a little bit. But that's all we're really gonna do while we're looking for these big trout, is cover a lot of ground and blind cast. And if we start catching fish, slow your roll down. Trout, in my experience, you know, you catch one from one spot, there's probably a handful more. You know, I think the really big fish might be a little bit more lone wolf, but especially some of these like 19 to mid 20-inch fish, they're gonna be holed up together. And so you catch one, you have a really good chance of catching a few more if you just slow it down and work the spot out. So that's exactly what we're gonna do this morning in attempts to find El Gigante. But we've already found what I would say a quality trout. So I'm already happy. We've only been fishing for 15 minutes. So we're gonna keep bombing big top doggy. See what else we can find. Who knows, maybe a stud red will come up and give us a slurp. This ain't doing it for me. Just about every cast I'm getting grass up on my treble hooks. I'm not gonna catch any fish if I'm fouled up the whole entire time. So we're gonna change this off. All right, the sun's peeked its head up. So we're gonna move to a kind of moving bait, a little swim bait. Right here, this is a Fathom Inshore jig head, which I got off Shop Carl's. And then this is a Shimmer Swimmer, which is a new Catch Co release, which I also got off Shop Carl's. I have become a humongous fanboy over both these things. I just love the way these jig heads look. And then these little paddle tails are money. I've already cranked a lot of fish on them. So we're gonna throw this out there, just kind of slow to medium retrieve, just kind of keeping it off the bottom. I'll twitch it up and down every once in a while. We'll see if this big chartreuse thing works for me. I have my suspicions that we might need to throw something natural, but this water's pretty dirty. I think it could work. We're just chucking up towards the mangroves and we're pulling it off the mangrove line off an edge right here. And now there's just a natural edge where it goes mangroves and kind of curves into the flat. And it's not huge, but sometimes that's enough that red, snook, and trout, flounder, any predatory fish will hang on an edge like that because it just gives them like a little element of surprise. And they're gonna be hanging, waiting for fish to come off the edge or moving up the flat to ambush them. And so the situation that we're basically recreating is you have a little finger mullet that's swimming up along the mangrove line. He pulls off the mangrove line, drops into the flats. Oh, just got bumped right there. And there's a big trout waiting to give him the smack down. And then a lot of times I have found, you know, you definitely can catch reds and snook cruising in the grass, but it feels like the reds and snook love being up along the mangrove line. So we're getting two areas covered at once. We're fishing the mangrove line where the snook and reds might be hanging out, and then we're fishing the drop off into the grass flats where the trout would be hanging. There's a fish. Oh, that's gotta be a jack, right? That it is. Son of a gun. He slammed the crap out of it too. Alrighty, oh god. Alright, midday update or whatever. Started out strong. It's been pretty slow so far though. You know, whacked a few really nice trout first thing in the morning, and then it's just kind of gone quiet. You know, caught some squeaky jack in between, but other than that, it's been pretty uneventful. Right now, I'm gonna throw a twitch bait. This is a Yuzuri twitch bait. You can actually get the smaller size of these on Shop Carl's, which I would prefer to be throwing a smaller size than this right now, but we'll try it and see if we can catch a big fish. You know, we got this big storm rolling in. We're probably gonna fish like, I don't know, maybe another 30 minutes and hopefully whack one or two more fish and call it a day. Twitch baits though, just a little info for you. They are incredible. If you're not throwing twitch baits, you should start. There's a bunch of different companies that make them, Yuzuri, Miradine, a thousand others, but those are the two main ones that I use, and they are exceptional baits for covering ground and finding fish, and just about everything wants to eat them. I think hard bait wise, best lure you could possibly throw. Soft bait, a shrimp, and you can't forget about a topwater, but hard bait wise, one of the best baits you could be throwing. So I think we're gonna make like this is gonna be our last cast right here, and we're gonna go in because I have been out here for far too long. I'll kind of break down and elaborate on the day and explain what happened when we get back to the car, but unless the 30-inch trout decides to eat right here on this cast, we're pretty much done. I got such a fat ass flat tire on my trailer halfway home. Some guy pulled up behind me. I didn't even notice. I was just zoned out, so tired fishing all morning. Some guy pulls up next to me and rolls down his window. He goes, "Your trailer is smoking." And instantly in my head, I'm like, he must be like seeing something. Like there must be water coming out of my trailer and he thinks something's happening. And I look back in my side view mirror and there is just the flattest of flat tires on my trailer ever. So, pulled over on the side of the highway, changing a tire. That sucker's flat, man. Update on what's going on. Tire of the trailer is off. My spare tire is bolted onto my trailer, and I cannot get it off because I don't have the right size wrench for it. But a subscriber named Corey happened to be driving alongside the road, saw me on the side of the road, pulled over, and he got out and said he was gonna help me. And he drove back home to grab some tools, and he's gonna come back and help me, and God bless that dude. I am covered in dirt. I have sliced my finger open. My shirt is covered in blood, but things are going great. We're gonna get the tire back on and get home. Whew, finally on the road. That took longer than I'd like to admit, like a little over 2 hours to do. All the bolts and nuts on my tire were just so rusted that it took like an hour just to get them off. And then my spare tire where it's mounted, the bolts where my spare tire was mounted were longer than the wrench I was using, and so I couldn't get the socket onto the bolts to take off my spare tire. And I sat there for like 20 minutes trying to figure out how I was going to get this off. And then, like I said, the subscriber Corey pulled up and saved the day, left and went and picked up some tools that lived around the corner, came back, helped me out like so much, like seriously, like absolute lifesaver. So now we got like a 40-minute drive home. The spare tire's on, and the spare tire is not the most full of air that it could be. So now I'm like worried about that, and I'm babying it and going pretty slow, but hopefully we'll make it home. Tonight's video will definitely be a little bit of a late upload, and I have a special guest coming into town tonight too, which I'm very excited about. If you can look at my clothing, I am so dirty. I got a piece of metal stuck in my hand. I cut my finger open. An eventful way to end the day, I suppose. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. You know, the trout fishing was hot and then it was not. It was one of those things where I showed up 30 minutes late and I stayed 2 hours too late as well. Like I said, my special guest gets in tonight, so you guys will look forward to that. I'm sure a lot of you know who it is. Just one of my favorite dudes in the world to fish with, and he also makes my favorite fishing YouTube videos, so I'm very excited. Alright, that's it for me, you guys. I need to go home and get this sucker edited and get some rest, because tomorrow morning, tarpon fishing is the game plan. Hopefully we can smoke some. That's it for me, guys. Until the next one, see ya.